Okay, so I thought it might be interesting to kind of circle back to our previous conversation because we had just hit lockdown. We were talking about how things were going to be, and I think the fact that we just didn't. Nobody knew, you know, what was going to happen. From our own experiences of remote working, because obviously all of our businesses have had elements of remote working. The Johnson team has been remote working for 10 years. You guys have been, you know, probably something similar. Obviously you go out on site a lot. Just maybe from your own perspectives, what did you guys think it was going to be? You know, because obviously none of us knew it was going to be what it was, but...
Yeah, I thought it would probably move a lot more towards remote working and for us remote training. And I think in our last conversations we were actually saying that the previous year and the lead up to the start of the pandemic, a lot of people were booking remote training then. So we thought it would probably carry on in that same vein, so and probably increase from there, because a lot of people were starting to remote work a lot anyway. And I think, especially from a training point of view, they found it a lot more flexible. And they once they started doing it, thought, actually, we're getting the same from this, so we might as well do that. So we just thought, actually, this might be, from our perspective, working. And you've got to look for the opportunities and things, haven't you? And we thought that it might be an opportunity for us to show that remote working, you do get just as much as sitting on site in a classroom style setup. And if people are more, we did think people would be more forced into it. We thought companies would be telling people possibly to go home and work more, because there was rumours of that starting, and that we probably might go into a lockdown, but if we don't, then at least people are going to be asked to work from home. So we did think that that was maybe an opportunity for people to see if they carried on booking the training. Obviously we're a bit worried that that might not happen.
I actually think that was, no, genuinely, I think that was everybody's concern. Like we only had like myself and Dawn and maybe one or two other people working with yourselves and some others from a contracting point of view, and that was it. Do you know what I mean? Our team was small, and like now our team is a lot bigger, but like we were also terrified, like, you know, and yet we've seen huge growth in our business.
Actually, I just remember that we were in the middle of a project with you guys. Holidays.
And
they were quite reluctant to move it to remote, I think. So I think we were going to come to London for it.
Yes, I remember that.
And then we ended up doing it, and they were like, we're so glad we went ahead.
Carried on. There was a few little delays along the way just because of, obviously with Love Holidays,
holiday
company.
I forgot.
But they, like I say, they were sort of forced into it, so they realised actually the remote was probably much better for them anyway. And because people, but as you say, it was a worry for us, because we thought, well, if people are not going to be in the office and people aren't going to be taking the same amount of money, then sometimes it's hard to sell in training anyway into a project or into a business. They don't see the value for money a lot of the time until they start it. And
you always have to get them to do the first training session.
Exactly.
You know, lock them in a room with you guys, and then once they've had one training session, then it's fine.
Well, that was one of the hard things, because again, I've just remembered this as well. There was another charity we were working with in Leeds. What's the name? Because it wasn't direct, but I actually did on site for them a full day. Maybe I did two, and it was at the point where if someone was coughing in the training, I was like, and no one wore masks or anything. And then we decided we're going to do it remote, and because the nature of that charity, they're very face-to-face helping people. They just didn't even. And it was a lot of older people who volunteered, so they were really worried. They were like, how are they going to join from home, because we can't support them? So it was really hard with them. But again, they saw the value in it, and they were like, actually, we thought the face-to-face was good, but it worked just as well remote. But they were really, really reluctant.
But like, it's all understandable, isn't it? Like,
definitely.
You know, we know why people were apprehensive.
And also we had a few projects delayed and a couple of cancellations, like at the very start, because as we sort of predicted in our minds, training will drop off the edge, because they'll be like, well, this isn't business critical, we don't need this right now. But then it started to quickly circle back the other way. I think, you know, it was ups and downs, but people were like, oh, like for that charity, for example, oh, everyone has to work from home now. They're not set up for it. They don't know how to do it. We need help now. So there was a few weeks where it was like we got a massive influx, and then it sort of dackered down a little bit, and from there it was sort of up and down until it evened itself out again.
For us, it was kind of... It was the summer. I felt like the first few months, everybody was like, let's just wait till this is over. And then it was like, wait, it's not going to be
No,
over.
it's not. No, exactly.
There isn't an end. And it was like people getting used to the fact that like this is just how things are now, and you need to figure this out or you're going to close down.
Exactly,
do you know what I mean? And I think that was difficult for businesses, but like once they'd transitioned, then it was like, well, this is just, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Going into the office, you know, we can work like this like indefinitely. You know, I think once people had made that transition, then it was fine.
Yeah, definitely. That's when we started to see the change again. People booking training again, and business as usual as much as possible. Really,
I felt like it was kind of summer. Was that the same for you guys? Summer or September, like when things
probably
really went back to like normal.
Yeah, I'd probably say sort of September. I think summer was a bit quiet for us, but summer is always a quiet time for us because holidays and things like that. It's not that.
That's the same for everybody.
But
but nobody was taking. No one could go anywhere.
No, exactly.
I'm actually a lot busier than I thought, because I remember like a lot of people going, how are you coping? Like that was like the thing you said, wasn't it? How are you coping? Because it was new to them, and for me, I was like, nothing's changed, because I was like, I've been so busy with work, and if I'm busy with work, I probably don't leave the house that much anyway. Because so I was like, it doesn't even, other than looking out the window, like down at the street, and there's no cars or anything. I was like, nothing's really changed. Like the first few weeks, I didn't really notice because I was so busy.
I have to say, already being a remote company was advantageous, obviously. Do you know what I mean? Because I remember the lockdown coming and people saying, "How have you guys coped with the transition?" And we were like, "Oh, we've already been working from home. Like I've had my little log cabin thing for the last 5 years." So, you know, I think for us it was like, oh, lockdowns happened. I think it affected us personally. You know, like particularly when the kids. When the schools closed and the kids were at home, you know, if you were a parent.
It's good you've got your separate office to go into, because obviously a lot of people didn't have that. And like in trading, I basically said at the beginning, do you know what? Don't worry if you get interrupted or anything, because I had like little kids in their pajamas coming and like waving, and it was really nice. But a lot of people, they didn't know. And obviously boundaries were allowed to be crossed because everybody was in such a weird
well,
situation.
I do think that is a positive out of this. I think businesses have relaxed things like that, and especially with training stuff, because we like our training to be fun and relaxed, and for people to feel googly, and people can ask questions, or they can dip in and out if they need to. If someone, a postman knocks at the door, they go. But the same for if they had children at home. I mean, I had a little one at home, so I knew what it was like. So you just had to be that a bit more flexible with it, and it was nicer. I think people felt more at ease with each other and support from each other, and I think that was a good thing. And businesses had to relax a bit around things like that, and I think there was a lot of positive changes in that.
Do you remember the video of the guy who was on Sky News? It was before lockdown stuff, and the kid comes in the background, and what a big deal that was, and it went viral. And like you think about that now, and now people would just be like, "Oh yeah, you know, your kid is there, whatever. You're on national news, you know."
At the beginning of the pandemic, there was loads of those videos. It was like, funny things from working from home, but then it just became it just faded into normality.
Some of them were like,
some went the other end of that.
Some definitely went. There was definitely some dodgy
coming out
ones.
of the shower in the background or something.
People got too relaxed.
I have to say, one of your clients, they joined in the dressing gown.
Really?
One of the training sessions. But they had the camera off, but then it's a joke. They went, look, because I think they were on holiday, but they joined, like they were in a caravan, like they joined the training. But again, like it was just funny.
I know, to be
fair. A close team anyway, and I'm not bothered, so.
Yeah, we don't have a dress code.
I think I would get told off if I delivered training in my dress.
We have a dress code. The people attending don't have a dress code.
Don't have a dress code, You don't send that out in the mailers.
If she turned up in a dressing gown, they'd be trouble.
What if it was a Cloudshed dressing gown?
If it was tied around my way.
If it was branded, I might let it slide.
Branded dressing gowns. That's the next thing, Charlotte. Branded dressing gowns.
You heard it here first.
And so, what? other than the relaxing, what's been the biggest change for you guys? Have you seen obviously more remote working? Assumably, at all is remote now compared to before.
Well,
is it more than you thought it would be?
I mean we deliver completely remotely, and I was actually really surprised at other businesses, because I think there's been like lockdown 1, 2, 3 and 4 I think now, hasn't there? In lockdown 1 I think a lot of businesses were like, temporarily we'll let you work from home, but it's very much, and I think even Boris was sort of saying, but as soon as we get back in the office you will get back in the office, and that will be that. So I thought, this isn't going to last that long, but then I think when it's happened again and second time, third time, I thought, like you say, they realise this is a bit we'll say semi-permanent
yeah.
for now. And I think I was quite surprised that a lot of businesses then seemed to change. Like you saw it in the news, like big companies that you wouldn't expect,
like PwC last week,
things like that. They can switch to complete remote working if they want to, and offering those things. And I was actually really surprised by that. And a lot of even companies that my friends work for, initially it was like, you need to get straight back in the office, and now it's like, why are you in the office so much? Do you really need to be in that much? These are your allocated days. You shouldn't really be going in as much if you don't need to, and you can do it